Is there really such thing as a midlife crisis? I'm here to debunk the midlife crisis theory. Hi, I'm Darcy. Welcome back to my channel. We are working on midlife makeovers. And one of the things that I think is so important for midlife makeover is there really such thing as a midlife crisis? Or is it just a label that someone put on it and we can reframe it? I believe that we can reframe any of these things. So I don't really believe in a midlife crisis, to be honest. It was a thought that came from a guy back in the 1960s because he thought that we were all looking at our mortality. How depressing is that? Holy cow. Okay, so I might be dead in 5 years, so I need to have a crisis. No, that's ridiculous. To me, a crisis is you lose a child, you lose a spouse. It's something you have a really hard time recovering from. I think a midlife crisis, yes, there are some people that have a really difficult time going through midlife. I know for me, all the menopause stuff was terrible. I had a lot of anger. And my husband was like, I don't really know if I like you that much right now. There probably was a reason for that. If I was in the car and somebody cut me off, I'm just like, how much time am I going to get in jail if I run this person off the road? I'm serious. It was so bad, you guys. But anyway, thank goodness that's in the past. I don't have that anymore. I still have night sweats and some other things, but I don't have the anger. Actually, it's really like hostility. It was really, really bad. But anyway, there's all these crazy things that happen to you, right, with midlife. Is it a crisis? I don't think so. It really has to be more about our perspective and our outlook and how we choose to accept some of the things that we can't change and just deal with some of the things that we need to deal with, all right? It's not that much difference in going from your 20s to your 30s. Every 10 years, everything changes, everything shifts, right? It's just part of it. The thing that I really loved about Betty White is she had this great attitude all the time about everything. This woman went through decades of being in film and on TV, and she just was a champ. She didn't let things bother her. She didn't let things pull her down. I'm sure she had bad days, but if you've heard some of the things that she said, she really was a warrior for her own cause and what she wanted out of her life. And I think that is amazing. So now, I maybe wasn't a huge Betty White fan before, but I certainly am now that I know how she chose to live her life. Because it is a choice, guys. Our perspective, glass half empty, glass half full, is a choice. All right? Midlife. Crisis or no crisis? So there are some things that happen that are not fun. All right. So we gain weight. Even if you're on hormone replacement, whatever, we still gain weight. For me, it was like I was sitting in a chair one day and I looked down and there was something hanging over my pants. It wasn't my top, you guys. It was my stomach. And I've been thin my whole life, but all of a sudden I had a stomach. Even after I had 6 kids, I've always been more on the petite side. But I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? So I didn't like that. And I didn't like the fact that it seems like I just woke up one day and my boobs were bigger. Like, when did that happen? When does any of this stuff happen? And how come it just feels like we wake up one day and this shit is here and it's real? You know? All right, I was always petite and kind of small, and I always wore like a Victoria's Secret's push-up bra, wanted to make the girls look their best. There was so much stuff coming out of that bra, I'm telling you. It was scary. It was 911. I actually had to go to the store and buy a new bra. I was like, okay, there's something going on here because there's a lot going on here. Now, my husband doesn't really have a problem with it, but I actually liked not having them. But it's here. They're going to stay. It's the way it is. So guess what, guys? We can be mad, we can be upset, we can not like what's happening to our bodies, not like remembering, when we get out of the grocery store, it's like, where the hell did I park my car? When did that happen? And you're walking around and you can see people laughing at you. They're like, because you can't remember where you park your car. So you got to get the electronic key and you got to figure out where your car is. Now that doesn't happen all the time, but the whole foggy thing, that's just something that happens to some of us. So not sleeping well, all of that stuff. So what's the key to really dealing with this? What's the key? What's the secret ingredient of how to be happy in midlife? It's about not worrying about stuff, you guys. It's about waking up and going, you know what? Yes, I'm at this stage of my life. You can either love it or hate it. I had a really difficult time, I'm not going to lie. I had to kind of go through, I kind of have a breakthrough. I was incredibly unhappy. I was like, how did I get here now? And why didn't I know I was going to be here now? How come I didn't see it coming? I didn't see it coming at all. And I felt kind of lost. I felt invisible. I thought I kind of lost my, what do they call that? Your mojo, your jam. Felt like, what happened to mine? It's on somebody else's bread, my jam. It's not on my bread. And so I was really, really struggling with a lot of it. And I was thinking, midlife sucks. Like this and this, and, I can't eat as much. I can't do this. I can't do that. But, really a lot of it was a mindset. And I decided to change it. And whenever I have something in my life I don't like, I change it and I make it something I do like, because we can do that. We can absolutely do that. We can change the way we dress. We can change our identity. We can absolutely embrace this time of our life. And if you think about it, there's so many positive things going on. You can do anything at any age. I had a friend that bought a winery at 70 and learned all about grapes. Who does that? That is so freaking cool. So let age be neutral to you and the way you think about what you want to do. You get to probably go do anything you want right now. You don't have to be in a job you don't like. You can start something new. You can volunteer. You can get out there. You can make a difference. If you're lonely, there are super ways to find girlfriends these days. And now that we've all survived the COVID years, it's time for us all to kind of go, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be in 5 years? I don't really like thinking about the next 20 years because I'm probably going to be in a nursing home, to be honest. So when someone's like, where do you want to be in the next 20 years? I'm like, I just don't want to be in a nursing home. Okay? My expectations are low for 20 years. But we can always look at where we want to be in 5 years. And we can always look at what do we want to do? How do we make our life more exciting? How do we look prettier? How do we feel better? It's so important, you guys. We don't have to accept anything that just pops into our head. Remember, your mind is not always your best friend. Some of the stuff that pops into your head is, this is not going to change. You should probably just get used to this. You're probably not going to lose weight. You're probably not smart enough to go back to school. Your brain has a way of trying to protect you. And when it does that, it's not necessarily your friend. So I developed the Midlife Makeover Manifesto, and you can grab it down below. And you need to start putting in the positive thoughts that you want to surround yourself with, the positive images, the positive thoughts. What do you want to do now? Maybe you don't have someone tugging at your sleeve, or maybe your spouse is retiring and the two of you have all this extra time. Maybe you want to travel. So many people travel at this stage in their life. And now we can get back to traveling again, which is fantastic. So change your perspective if you're having a really rough time right now. Change your attitude adjustment, and look at what you can do and debunk the myths. They are myths about midlife. Don't pay any attention to them because they're really not true. You're not a victim. All these terrible things are not happening to you. You're not defined by your circumstances. You are defined by what you choose and what you want. And I decided I was going to love my midlife. And that's why that's my message, is that you can love your midlife and you can embrace it, enjoy it, go do all kinds of things that you were never able to do before and really enjoy it. So my wish for you is that you learn to love your life again if you're one of those ladies that's feeling stuck, confused, or unhappy. And if there's any way I can help you, feel free to comment below. I would love to help you with anything that you're going through, or just share your story with me. I love to hear that too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we have new videos. I have new videos that come out every week about how to make this whole period of our life more exciting, more engaging, and more fulfilling. And if you hit the bell, you will get noticed when there's new videos, but they are going to be coming out every week. Get your free manifesto down below and stay in touch with me, and we can go on this journey together. Bye, loves.